Hello everyone, this is Louis Orton from Aalab.com, and here I'm going to show you the first product my team and I have been working on over the last 2 years. It's called Found. Found is a digital asset management solution designed by me for independent CG artists and small studios, which can help artists to solve day-to-day problems. It works like Explorer on Windows or Finder on a Mac, but is tailored explicitly to CG artists. Alright, let's skip all the chit-chat and check it out. The main interface is split into 3 parts from left to right. The left sidebar consists of 3 collapsed panels. The first one on the top is Directory, and the second is Quick Access. Third one is a unique feature called Collection, which I'm going to explain in a bit. The middle area is the main browsing area, which supports multi-tabs like a regular web browser. And on the right side is the preview panel. First, let's take a look at the Directory collapsed panel. Here you can navigate through your local drives or local network resources like NAS devices. If we click the small icon to open I, the hidden folders will be visible. If you want to hide a specific folder or a local drive, you can click the I next to it, and when you close the panel's eyes on the top right corner, it won't show up in the directory panel. It's very much similar to the layer shy feature in After Effects if you have ever used that. This way you can keep only what's meaningful for you and reduce unnecessary distractions. The Quick Access panel allows you to pin your frequently visited folders for easy access. You can click the plus button to add the current folder into Quick Access. Right-click a folder, select Change Alias. You can then specify a specific alias for this particular folder in the Quick Access, which won't change the actual folder's name. Let's hide the directory panel as we don't need it for the moment. Create a new tab and switch to the demo folder. If your folder contains mixed contents, or what we call as the visual assets, which will be presented with big thumbnails. Only those previewable digital assets will have thumbnails. Regular folders and other files will show up as small icons with full names next to them. Here you can decide what kind of information you would like to see below the thumbnails and the sorting order. Also, you can sort them by the similarity to a specific hue of color. Click an asset and it will be loaded into the preview area. The color bar will show the analysis of the dominant colors in the picture. Select a color. From the drop-down menu, you can click one of the values and it will be copied to your clipboard, which you can later then paste somewhere else. The color bar also has a color picker. You can pick a color from anywhere on your screen, even outside Found. The color will be temporarily stored here. If we hold down the middle button of the mouse while dragging the thumbnail, a floating image will be created and you can move to anywhere on the screen as a reference. Use the scroll wheel button to scale the floating image. You can also rotate for 90 degrees, flip horizontally, vertically, or make it grayscale. You can hold down left button for a moment and then drag it out to Slack directly to send it to somebody else. Found supports not only the common formats like JPEG or PNG, but professional formats like DNG, RAW, and Photoshop PSD files are also supported. And videos are supported with more features. When moving across a video thumbnail, we can preview the content on the fly. This can be especially important and handy when trying to collect various layouts or references for creative projects. Select a video, it will start to play on the right immediately. Hold down the left button when moving from left to right can navigate the timeline easily. And middle clicking the preview panel will maximize it, no matter what kind of content is being previewed. Also, you can use the scroll wheel to scale the image when it's playing. The timeline is very precise. You can use a keyboard's left or right arrow key to control the progress frame by frame. Middle click again to restore the panel to the right. If we hold down the middle button on the mouse, a floating image of the current time will be created. This is super handy if you want a quick reference from the video. If we hold down the left button and move to Slack or some other area, I can send a snapshot to somebody else quickly. You can also use this feature to do film analysis quickly. For example, let's create a new collection called Video Analysis. A collection can be seen as a virtual folder, which we'll go deeper in a bit. Let's say we think this shot looks great. Just hold down left button, drag and drop. Again, drag and drop. And again, drag and drop. It's just that quick and easy. Let's go back to the video folder. Hold down the middle button on a thumbnail and an information dialog will pop up, which tells you all you want to know about this file, like the frame rates, codec information, etc. Besides videos, Found also supports industry standard 3D models as well. Select a model and start to preview on the right. You can inspect the wireframe and UV islands. Hold down the middle button on the thumbnail to check the properties of the model. You can even create a floating image from the drop-down menu on the preview panel. Also, Found supports HDRI images. Select one of the HDR files, we can then see how it will affect a diffuse sphere. You can switch the shader between a reflective one or a rough diffuse one. I have gathered lots of HDR files in the past from different sources. Naturally, they're separated in different places under the same major folder. Jumping in and out can be cumbersome. Is there some way to check them all on one screen? Well, yes. Click the number here and all the contents in the subfolders will be extracted to the same level. This is called folder flattening. You can even flatten the folder twice, which will bring the files in the second level subfolders to the current level. This can save so much time in so many scenarios. For example, you can check all different versions of renders by flattening your shot's major render folder or a texture folder, etc. I had once worked on a personal project called 36 Days of Types, which has paused for a very long time though. Each day has its own folder, but now I can just unfold the major folder and see everything all at once. Found also has some handy small features. For example, right-clicking a huge resolution image, you'll find the downscale command, which creates a smaller version with a simple click. Found can also play image sequences directly. There are more than 200 of individual files in this folder, and they're automatically recognized as 3 groups of image sequences. Click one of the sequences and it will play automatically on the right. All the navigation in the preview panel is exactly the same as if it was a video. Found is fast enough to play even 4K EXR sequence. The red color in the timeline means that there are missing frames in this sequence. If we invoke the information dialog, we can check not only the EXR info like layers, there are even analysis of frame range, including what frames are missing and some other useful properties like pixel aspect ratio and the total size of all frames. Well, there are more than that. If you right-click a sequence and select Convert to MP4, an MP4 video file will be generated immediately, without setting any parameters. All the technical stuff was handled automatically under the table. Converting image sequences to a video has never been easier. If you just push down the Tab key on the keyboard, a quick search bar will show up. Here you can type any keywords to find any files instantly as long as it's seen by Found before. That's all for finding and previewing the local assets. Now let's take a look at the collection panel. You can create as many collections as you want for any purposes. It's like the pinball in Pinterest, but offline version. You can put any assets into one or multiple collections. They're just shortcuts to your original assets. Removing assets in a collection won't affect the original files. Let's look at a real-world scenario of how I use the collection to solve my problem. I was invited as a jury member of an online CG competition, in which I was asked to pick a few of my favorites from a large group of submitted works. This was the folder I received from the website hosting the competition. So in this case, I will create a new collection named Selected. I find this work very attractive. I can drag it all the way down to the collection. Or I can also drag it onto the pop-up collection menu. Just repeat the process a few times. This is how you can reorganize your local assets without touching the original files. In the early case where I show how to drag and drop video snapshots into a collection, the images generated were stored in database where you specify when installing Found onto your computer. Also, if your clipboard has an image, either copied from somewhere else or a snapshot of your screen, just Ctrl-V to paste it here as a new image file. We also developed the web browsers plugin. When you have the Found plugin installed, just drag any images on a web page and you will see the pop-up menu. Push it upward and release will create a floating image. And you can move it anywhere outside the browser because it's separated. We can also create a new collection by dragging it down to the bottom and let's call it Fantasy. This way you can grab any images from the websites for your local reference. Alright, this is part of many more features of the first version of Found. All the features I just showed are free and will remain free in the future. Now you can go to aalab.com to download Found and start to try it out yourself. If you have good advice or feedback, please write emails to support@aalab.com. Tell me what you think about it in the comments area down below the video. Don't forget to subscribe and give a thumbs up if you like the software. Have a good day and I will see you next time.